Yo, what's up, gentlemen?
What's
We are
up?
What's up?
live.
What's up?
What's
What's going
happening?
on?
Another episode of Yah'm Say'n.
Yeah, brothers in the house, man.
Yeah, we in the house, man. Just making it through these technical difficulties, man. Making it through life, you know what I'm saying? Um, uh, just trying to get everything square, man. How's everybody been doing, man?
Great.
look, Brian just summed it up. Great.
I was saying, I,
Right.
I, I think we've been built for times like this.
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody going through is. I'm not going through it.
Look,
Yeah.
Brian ain't tell no lie. Look, man. I be having conversation with the kids and Bet and Jameer. He like, oh, I need to go out. I need to do this, and I'm like, man, look, I'm all right. I'm kicking the feet up. I'm relaxing. This ain't really nothing to me. When it kick back on, I'll be ready. But right
Yeah.
now, don't bother me right now. I'm cooling.
Yeah, man, that's kind of how I am, man, too, man. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I'm just used to being in the house or whatever, man. But we went to Virginia. Shauna made a good trip. Good plan to go see some friends we haven't seen in a while, man. So it was good. It was good to get out. You know what I'm saying? It was good. It was good, man. It was good. Safely. And we'll jump into that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, Sean, you had anything? You had anything going on, brother?
Nah, we just got back from Florida, so I mean, it's nice to get out, but it's also nice to be in the crib sometimes too, save a little money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What about you, Brian?
Man, nothing chilling today. I just went to the flea market.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Sean. Hey, Sean. When you went to Florida,
yeah,
people, you wouldn't know that a pandemic is going on, right?
no pandemic in Florida. There ain't no
Yeah, that's
pandemic. They
what I'm
don't even
saying.
know what's going on.
That's why I was in Florida. And you don't even know that, like, you like, man, I see why these people weird. Hey, it's 90 degrees down here. Everybody out, nobody wearing
90
masks.
degree, hot as hell.
Like,
Nobody got a mask
Yeah,
on.
nobody got a mask on. Everybody
The
in
people,
everybody's face.
yeah.
yup. When we was out walking, people was looking at us like we was crazy with masks on. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm gonna rock this joint.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hot as hell, rocking it.
yeah. That's what I say. Florida's different, man. I see why Florida acting weird.
They looking at you,
Yeah, it's
showing
definitely
like, yeah,
yeah,
he
it's
ain't from
definitely different.
Florida.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
you
for
walking
real,
around with a
for
man.
real.
Right.
I know he ain't from here.
they know when you ain't
Right.
from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you ain't got no mask on.
Oh yeah, because they
Yeah,
rocking no mask.
yeah. You got a
Right.
mask on. You have a whole safety thing on.
And you gotta have a Trump flag.
Yep.
Yeah,
And you gotta have a Trump flag down there. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
on some other shit.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy,
Word.
man. Yeah, man. Somebody said Atlantic City is that way too, Brian. Only thing is you need reservations to eat everywhere.
Man, I would say it's crazy. It's
Wow.
crazy when you go. It's crazy when
Yeah.
you go down there. It's like a whole nother world. Like I went down there when it was snowing
It
everywhere.
is.
So you going down there and it's 80, 90 degrees and it's snowing everywhere. Like that's when the blizzard was coming through places and all that stuff. And Florida was just in a whole nother world. You just like it's 80 degrees, hot weather, people wearing shorts, no mask.
Yup.
No mask, nothing,
Yeah.
man.
No
Yeah,
mask.
Virginia was different, man. We went to
Yeah.
Virginia this weekend, and yeah, it was different, man. Everybody had masks on everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But I think the difference is that people, people was getting out and about. You know what I'm saying? But that was it, man.
There,
But yeah, go ahead, John.
there's there's 5 states that contribute to half of the COVID infections and also deaths right now.
I can get.
There's five.
where they at.
Texas.
Mm. Yeah,
Uh,
probably Texas, Florida,
Texas.
and Florida been fudging their numbers.
so
Oh yeah.
Texas wasn't on there,
Oh,
but Texas
That's
Texas
because they're
was
What?
in
fudging
the
their
top
numbers like
10.
Florida.
Somebody lying.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
somebody lying, man.
California, New York,
Mm.
um, New Jersey, Michigan, and Florida.
It gotta
Mm.
be North Carolina too, because North Carolina is another state that act like they ain't nothing ain't going on.
Oh
Yeah,
man, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, fellas. Well, while we're here, we talked about it, man. We said we are going to talk about this mental health, and post COVID. You know what I'm saying, and during COVID, because we still in the pandemic, like we talking about. And like you said, we go to various states,
Thank
and it sound like we not, or it seemed like some states aren't participating in this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So so yeah, man. So when we talking about mental health, um what are some things that you guys think that people can do, you know, to get themselves, back to some normalcy, man? Because I think that people during the pandemic, it was shown that there, a lot of people with anxiety and depression and things of that nature really felt the brunt of the pandemic because they didn't have no outlet. So what do you guys think about people, what people can do, to get themselves, back to some normalcy, man? Get out of the rut, get out of the you know get out of the cloud, so to speak.
I'll go first if y'all want me to.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I feel people need to. Well, I think people should go do what they should have been doing anyway, right? Using this time to work on themselves. That's what this time was about. I think is to work on who you are and find out who you are and bring that out when it's all over. You could have used this time to build who you are or build your wealth or build whatever you can do right now, and like exercise or read a couple books. um Basically just find out who you are, like find out who you really are without everything going around. And I think that's what the problem with mental health, mental health, wellness going on right now, is that people finding out why it's quiet now that they're not the hype they thought they were for social media or whatever. I think they finding out who they really are, and probably who they really are ain't where they want to be or who they want to be, because everything's quieting down right now and they can really see who they are without being on social media or partying or drinking and like going out clubs every weekend or whatever. I think people really find out who they really are and probably don't like it. So my thing is to work on who you are, like find out who you are and like be a better person or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like I know I deal with anxiety myself. So to me, like just being in the house was kind of cool because like that's where I like to be at anyway, in the house. But most of the time, like during COVID, I spent time to build the bar, behind me, and just kind of work on some other stuff. Um, Play like some video games, just some normal regular day stuff. So, um, I like being outside at the crib, so I'm good. I was good.
They
In
had
the
they hand,
beginning,
hand
I know I stocked up on mad liquor. Huh?
Sean, did hand lotion motion go up during the pandemic?
Huh? I know that's what JY told me. He bought a lot more lotion.
Yeah, boy.
Go-
Toilet paper was out of
got
stock,
it on
boy. Vaseline
Amazon.
should have been.
Look,
All
I subscribed
right.
on Amazon. Three months. Keep on recycling it.
And send
Yeah.
it. I know. Let's go.
So, no, but Brian and Sean, y'all really touched on something, man. Because I just read an article, right? One, they were talking about how sex after the pandemic. You know what I mean? Because people now are finding out more about themselves, and people are they're not happy with themselves. It- like that's what a lot of things are starting to come out, and you know, people are finding out how unsuccessful they feel like they are. Some things that they never achieve, some things that they want to achieve, some things that in the reflection that they are on a repeated loop on themselves. And after this pandemic, nothing is really going to change in a sense with human beings. But the good thing that those who did focus on themselves, you're going to start seeing the greatness of those people, or a small majority who, you know, at the end of the day, sat back and they really thought about some things, and they thought about how they are living life, how life
Mhm.
is living around them. So, yeah, y'all touched on it, man.
Yeah, sorry, it sounded like y'all had a good conversation, man. Yeah, I still ain't found no light, so I'm just go with it. God bless me with melanin. I guess I don't know what to say, but yeah, man, that's the main thing is that about people, about this pandemic, is that yeah, people found them, like John, you're saying, people found themselves, what I mean, found other alternatives, and hopefully they people found something to do, what I'm saying, or to better themselves, what I mean. I know I did, what I'm saying, and it's why we're doing this thing right here, what I'm saying. But also, but I think you're getting at the heart of reflection, right? It allowed people to reflect, what I mean, to reflect on just everything, man. And so hopefully people continue reflection, but during that reflection, just being like, hey, man, let me go out, let me go and have fun at this, event or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, man, that was a good point, man. That was good.
No, no, man, Brian brung it up, and then Sean just put another block on it, and then man, I just built off of it because I can see that in myself. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, man, when this pandemic started, like I just got a guitar, right? I ain't been working on it, but I literally just said to myself, and I sat, I was talking to vet, and I was just like, you know what, man, we were still doing a rehab house in the pandemic. I said, but what I'm going to do for myself,
Mhm.
man, I'm going to start working on this darn guitar. And because I
Mhm.
started seeing the reflection, like, man, I ain't really doing nothing with my life. I I I,
Mhm.
I took care of my family. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, go to work, and so forth, so forth. I ain't really hanging out. I ain't, I ain't in the bars and all the other stuff. So at the end of the day, man, what am I doing with myself that I'm going to find enjoyment even if I'm around people or not? Because that right there to me will keep the sadness at bay, the depression at bay, and so forth. Because once your mind is being entertained by different things, it's hard to kind of then focus on other things, whether negative or positive, or whatever it may be.
Yeah. So Holly put an interesting comment, and I in the chat, and I appreciate Holly for you sharing, and I want to get you guys' take on this. She said, I'm an out person. Working from home during the pandemic has driven me crazy. I'm currently out in short-term disability. I'm suffering from anxiety, having breakdowns. My metric at work started getting lower and lower. My therapist advised me to go out, be safe, have fun, abide by restrictions. I thought it was worth a share. Yeah, it is worth a share, and I think, and thank you for that, Holly. I think it's worth a share, and what is what we're talking about here. And I think that's what we want to do is get you to actually go out. Don't the things around you shouldn't control you too much. You know what I'm saying? And and if you feel overwhelmed, then you seek the necessary help that you get. But I just want you guys a take on what Holly said.
Repeat what she said. I'm trying to look at it, but stuffy.
She basically said that she's working from home, and she's going through. She's currently running out on short term. She her disability's running out, and she's
Mm-hmm.
suffering from anxiety, having breakdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And she her therapist advised her to go out and have fun and abide by restrictions. So just want you guys take on that.
Like what she should do, or what?
Yeah. Just
Like what?
yeah.
It go back to what I first said. Find out, like, use this time to find out who she really is or who you really are. Like, not without anybody around you. Like, cause like your surroundings make who you are. Like, how you've been brought up or who you've been around. They all make who you are. Like, so right now it's only you. So people starting to have like they having a hard time dealing with just them. Find out who they are because they see social media because you can't go nowhere, but you can still see social media, like we said in that other conversation. And social media making people feel like they ain't living up to a certain level in their life, and that shouldn't be what they had to hold their standard to. They should hold their standard to how much they check. Like me, when I look at myself and then I look at back like where I started and then look at me now, I'm like, damn, Brian, you better than who you thought you was going. Like you weren't even supposed to be this far. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the way you was like the odds that was against you. So you know what I'm saying? Like and like you like I'm impressed with myself. So you gotta start like appreciating the small little things you doing, the small moves you doing. Cause I had to learn to appreciate the small moves because I just was looking for the big moves. And I was like, so now I'm just appreciating the small moves I'm doing, and it's working good. Like I got goal little book. I write my goals and getting little small little things done. I'm small. I'm appreciating the small goals.
All right, brother Sean, like you about to chime in.
So yeah, nah, I definitely agree with what Brian's saying. But I know a lot of people are like extroverted, so they need that people interaction. They need to be outside. They need to be around other people. Like I know for myself, I'm introverted, so I'm good. But I know for my youngest son, Key, like he's an extrovert, so he needs that people interaction. Like he goes to his friend's house, he plays soccer, he plays basketball. Even in the beginning of the pandemic, he was doing these things, and it was at first it was kind of like, nah, we want you to stay inside, don't go outside. But then it's like that's his personality. So
Mm-hmm.
hindering him from going outside and being around his friends, like it's kind of like, okay, I get it, it's a risk, it's a chance, but also at the same time, like why, like just because something's going on outside, it's out of your control regardless. So don't stop living life. Don't stop like, I mean, yeah, you can't do everything we used to do, but at the same time, you can't stop living life. You still got to enjoy what you enjoy. If you enjoy being around people, go be around some people that you trust, that you
Mm-hmm.
know, that you see on a regular basis. Um, so I mean, I definitely understand where they're coming from. For myself, I'd have probably been good on lockdown for a minute. I know in the beginning, for me, the liquor store was my outlet. So I go. I was like, I gotta go to the liquor store. I started ordering it online, like not to be over drinking, but also just kind of like, I don't know if this shit's going to shut down, so I might need a drink.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, like, no, I definitely get where they're coming from with the interactions and all that stuff. But for me too, I'm going back into work every day, so to me, I'm almost on a normal, regular basis. Like I'm in the office Monday through Friday. Um, because the work I do, I have to be at the job. I can't do a lot of it from home. So to me,
Hmm.
it's like I feel like we just need to live. Like the government says this is shut down, that's shut down. I get it. Wear your mask. If you need to be out around people, wear your mask. Wash your hands. You should be doing that anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. John, what's your take on what Holly was saying?
Wash your hands, John.
Uh, I, I'll start from the bottom of the comment first, and then work my way back to her point. Um, where I don't know where I said anything was faking. I don't even know where that comment came from. So we didn't talk about anything was a fake emotion or a fake feeling or anything like that.
No, I think
But
she just said it. It's just she just said it as a expression. I don't think it was directed toward anybody.
it's JY at the
Oh
end
yeah,
of
I got you. I got you. My bad.
so yeah. So at the end of the day, nobody made that insertion. So um, but now let's get to what you were saying. Um, look, what Brian's saying, BY saying, and Sean saying, and Tay, and what we are saying as a group, and I think we all agree, man. In this pandemic, find a way, whether it's outside of your norm or inside of your norm, to get back to some normacy. Like that's what this is about. But to Sean's point, yeah, people need personal interaction, but that's also causing death. So so you got to do it with caution, because if you don't do it with caution, someone can die, and you got to be mindful of it. It don't matter if it's 1%, 2%. It don't. The point is the recklessness of that thought can be taken so far and out of context that someone can do that maliciously, which we've seen throughout the year. And we all have to be cautious on how we move about in this pandemic, but not also get in a shell, which means, look, if you ain't go out and never walk and you've been stuck in the house, maybe that might be the time that you go out and go walk. Man, look, if you ain't never been on a mountain trail and you're in a pandemic and you've been in work every single day, you've been working from home, maybe you want to just go on that trail. These are just things that we all have to start coming to some understanding and moving a little different than how we used to move. And I think that's what it's about. And move in caution and wisdom.
Yeah,
That's all, man.
yeah. You guys hit on important points, and I think you guys all were saying the same thing, which is, yeah, be cautious about how you move in this pandemic, man. And and I'm not here to tell somebody what to do with the shot. I know myself, I'm getting a shot on Tuesday, man. So, that's part of, hey, man, you making that decision, making your own decision determination. I do want to touch on one point that Holly was bringing up, and that's these external forces that people can't control, right? She was talking about, she's on short-term disability, and there was a lot of people who are had these forces they can't control, right? Like, so people were, the government was trying to help people on rent, the government was trying to help people on, to pay their rent, to pay their mortgage. People who couldn't find that second job, or who just got laid off, and things of that nature, external forces that are causing these issues of anxiety and depression.
Hmm.
And it's something that people don't talk about people that they have to go out, man. They have to go to work, man. People got to go to work. People got to go to work, and they have to interact with people whether they like it or not. So like you're saying, they have to, people have to look. You just got to move in caution. As me and Sean was talking about earlier, was that if part of the reason I'm getting the shot is because, look, man, it lessens my chances of getting on that ventilator, man. Because once you get on that ventilator, your chances of surviving that is pretty low, depending on higher, depending on what you got going on, depending on what your comorbidities are, so that's why I'm getting a shot. But back to the mental aspect of it, you know like how have you guys been like making sure you're not solely focused on the pandemic? Yeah, you make sure you wear your mask, right? You get your mask, but you still like, hey man, hey, look, I want to go to this concert next week or whatever, or this event
Up my
next week.
shots.
Or Brian, go protest in my
Going,
man's house
go,
from down the street from
yeah.
that army officer down the street from you, bro.
He right around the corner from me.
Yeah.
That was right around the corner from you.
Yeah, that's right around the corner.
That was?
Uh,
Wow.
I leave it alone.
Good.
Wow. You gonna do
They
donuts in the
tore that
driveway
man.
yet?
Huh?
They tore that man house up.
Yeah, but we need.
No,
I
I
agree.
don't care.
I agree. No. Not just to dwell on that for a little while. My take on it, yeah, we should apply pressure to people that do that to us, but we should apply that same amount of pressure to our own situations, like that little girls getting shot in the hood. Apply that pressure to them people. Like
I
apply them
totally
pressure
agree
to
with
people.
that.
Apply that pressure to people that's bringing down your community, just as well as them too. Because you know why? If we start showing that we'll do to our people, we keep our people at the same standard we want you to do too. There's a whole lot of respect. Will go like, oh shoot, they doing it. They'll do it to their own people. Boom, we'll go and we go just as hard to them. You know what I'm saying?
Boy,
Or whatever situation.
be God darn boy.
Yeah,
look.
man, he just felt. But you know what the
Look,
crazy thing?
look.
This the crazy thing. Before I pass it, this is the crazy thing. If you know anything about that community, it's a lot of black people there. That's why I was like, how the fuck did he say? Like,
Yeah.
how did he say that? I'm thinking this place was somewhere else, like in South Carolina. I'm thinking like it's somewhere else. Then when they said it was like, when they said it was what's the name, I'm like, oh, why? It's a bunch of black people that live there. Like it's like a lot of black people that live there. So I don't know, man. Shoot, it was just weird.
I seen the two black ladies in the background. They were doing their exercise walk, right? And they
In the background, I was thinking the same thing.
I was sitting there. I
was
like,
just about to
oh,
say
man,
the same.
I'm wondering if the
same thing,
sisters
like,
going to chime in. Boy, they must have kept on walking. but again, this is this is what
Right.
we see in society, right? On both sides of the fence, in majority black neighborhoods, or what they consider majority minority neighborhoods, we won't apply the pressure when we need to apply the pressure. But then when we move into a more mixed community or so forth, we don't apply the pressure then. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep on walking and mind our business. And not even realize, like, nah, like we got issues on both sides of the fence that we gotta deal with. They don't, but we do in our culture. And a lot of people really don't even understand that, man. Like, middle class people won't even do nothing when something is happening. They'll keep on walking. Or, the poor people in their community, when something happened, they keep on walking.
Yeah. You got something, brother Sean? I know you're saying something.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just saying, just on that same topic. I saw a lot of videos come out from different people, but I saw one from the comedian Godfrey,
Mm,
and he was saying how the people that pick on smaller kids like that know who to pick on. Cause imagine if they would have picked on somebody different. You know what I mean? They're not picking on like
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's built, that's somebody that's ready to
Mm-hmm.
fight back. You know, they picking on the kid
Yeah.
with the kid. I think they said he had like anxiety or he had depression and he suffered for some other things. But either way, like he's a frail little kid, like just minding his business out walking, but they're
Mm-hmm.
not picking on somebody that is going to give them a threat, a fear, or a fight
Yeah.
back. And
Yeah.
I think that's the crazy thing. Like, if you want to fight with somebody, pick somebody that's going to fight with you. Don't pick on a little kid that you know you can beat. And it's crazy because I'm watching the show Them. I don't know if y'all checked it out yet, but it's
Yeah.
pretty deep.
yeah,
Didn't I
man.
didn't,
Woo-wee.
didn't I tell you, Tay?
I ain't
Didn't I
see
tell you, Tay?
it
and
yet.
and it, yo, you gotta watch it. It's
You gotta
deep.
watch
It's
it.
is is it's
It's just
crazy,
like it.
but it's definitely watch it.
Okay.
But the crazy
Okay.
thing is, I think about that same situation when they came out my man on the roof, and it was three of them and him, and he said, "Come up here, and you coming down a different way." And
Mm.
it was three of them, three white dudes against him on his roof by himself, and he was like, "If I come down there, I'm
I'm
telling
gonna
y'all
fuck
what I'm
you
about to
up.
do. And if y'all come up here, y'all coming down a different way than you came up." But it was just him by himself, and because he stood up for himself, and this is back in the 50s when shit was real different. So
Mm-hmm.
when he stood up for himself, they was like, "All right, we're gonna get out of here, but we watching you." Okay, watch me. You know what I mean? But like,
Right.
it's the same concept. Like, if he would have been timid and back down, I know it's a TV show, but if he would have been timid and back down and be like, "Oh, my fault, my bad, this was that," like it would have been a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
But because he stood up for himself and fought back, I mean, he didn't even have to fight, but just because he stood up for himself and said, "It ain't like that," if y'all got beef, come on up here to the roof and y'all gonna come down. So I think it's the same situation like today. Like there are people that are bullying young kids like that know who they can bully and try to get away with that stuff with. Because a lot of times like it's crazy. Like, and even like me and Tamika talk about all the time, like when Key and our nephew living with us too, when they go outside late at night and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna play basketball down the street at my friend's house," like we still have to think about the same things. Like, are they gonna be okay? Like, are they gonna be in a neighborhood and somebody gonna be like, "Oh, they're a threat because they wearing hoodies and blah blah blah." Like that shit's so annoying. Like we in 2021, why are we still living like this? But
Mm,
it's the world we live in, and I think honestly, a lot of that came about when Trump was in office and people was like, "Oh, it's okay to be prejudiced." Nah, we're gonna have to get y'all to step back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's just
Cause,
something like we shouldn't even have to be
'cause
thinking about in this time, but it's like it's still here. Like, why?
I, I don't condone no violence, but in school we used to beat them up. We used to beat them up. Like that's what we look. You say something, we gonna look. That's how we handle them. We look. At the end of the day,
Yeah, that's what it was.
that's what it was, and it, you don't want society to be that way. But at the end of the day, man, what other way are they going to learn their lessons?
Yeah,
And
what
that's a
is it going to take?
legitimate question.
What else is it
What
going
is
to
it
take?
going? What it really? What is it going to take?
Yeah.
Because they still out here,
Do-
And Sean, you making a good point. When Trump got into office, and this is the coalition between the timeline and what was going on, they
Yeah.
came out the closet. They came from
Yep.
behind the fence, and people have to understand that. But the only thing is, I seen black people jump over the fence. That was the crazy part.
Oh,
I see,
I've seen that
I
too.
seen black people
Yeah.
jump over the fence to join them, and not even realize what they
Oh
were really
yeah.
joining. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It was
At the
bigger
grassroots.
than the political side.
Yeah,
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 definitely
yeah.
bigger than the political side. Um, yeah, it's just crazy. Like when Obama was in office, regardless of what you could say about the dude, because they're all politicians at the end of the day. They ain't for us. But at the end of the day, all of this stuff wasn't going on like that. And then Trump come out and he like, oh, it is what it is, and everybody jump on his back. Like, oh, we the dude in office is running like this, so we jumping on board. Now, granted, they might have been behind the scenes prejudiced or racist, but when he was in office, it just made it more relevant for them to come out the closet. Um, so I don't know. It's just crazy. Like it feels crazy that you have to think about that for our sons. Like, hey, they going outside. Like, you gotta be really conscious. Like, is my son gonna be okay when he go outside? He's 17. Is he a threat to somebody just because of his complexion? And it's just crazy that we have to think of like that all the time still. Like we still in the 50s, but all because of some people's thoughts. So it's
Hey,
just it's just pretty crazy.
Sean, I got Sean. Sean,
Yeah.
I got a personal question. Do you feel do you feel double racist? I don't know how to say it. From like, all right, the predicament you in, not a predicament, but the situation you in. Do you feel
Yeah.
the community that you in? Do you feel it from both ways? You know what I'm saying?
I, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Um, to me, not really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I guess it's more of my association of who I'm around and who I'm
Yeah.
with is like different. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. Like
You know them people
you
that you
know
don't
how
don't
like a
talk to,
couple
but you
white
see them
guys get
looking.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, and then,
yeah, the
and
people
and
that
it's,
you
and
don't
it's the
talk to, but you
same.
see them looking and how
Like
they look.
yeah, you catch a look like, that's
Yeah.
weird. Why are you staring at me like that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And even like me and Tamika was just talking like when we were in Florida, like
Mm-hmm.
obviously we've been married for a long ass time, but we're in the line together. We're clearly talking to each other. And this was just like last week when we were in Florida. We're clearly in the line. We're clearly talking to each other. And the lady's like, "Sir, can I help you?"
Hmm,
You already asked my
hmm,
wife the same question. Like,
hmm,
you think I'm in the line just talking to this lady, like
hmm,
close and personal, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. Like,
Yeah.
we still get that. Or even at restaurants, when we go and check in at a restaurant, they be like, "Oh, sir, can I help you?" No, my wife already checked us in. So why you asking me again?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost like an assumption, like we not together. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to me,
Because
I
you
see
standing
that a
there with
lot,
that
and it's
chocolate
really
woman.
annoying. Right.
Yeah.
He got a
Because I
bad
likes the
case of that.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. Hey, man. I had to let y'all go, man. I had to keep let y'all fire off, man. Because hey, look, we're talking about mental health, but I also think that part of that mental health is the trauma of racism, also. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So,
Yeah.
and we can't disconnect the two, right? It is that trauma of racism. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, yeah, and y'all made some good
And real
points.
quick, just
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
I mean, real quick, if you think about it, people that are racist like that,
Hmm.
it's a mental health issue for them because they were raised that way. They don't wake up like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's shown clearly in pictures and everything. Like, it's a human being thing, and it's a mentally taught thing. Um,
It's
and
conditioning.
the persistent, like, yeah, it's a conditioning because like just think about it in the wild, right? You don't see lions fight because they got different stripes than the other zebras. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it's a conditioning thing. Um, so it is to me. I think it is a mental health thing. So I think it's to me it's right on topic because it's a mental health thing. It's taught and passed down from people to people. And I mean,
Absolutely,
yeah, it's not
absolutely.
technically. like an anxiety or a depression, but it is definitely a mental health thing because
It
you have
most
to have some
definitely.
mental issues to think somebody that looks similar to you but has a different complexion is that far off different from
Hmm.
you.
Right, right.
Like it's
Right, right.
I don't
Like
know,
they don't
that's
want the
a
same
mental
thing.
issue.
Yeah, man. It most definitely is a is
Uh the show.
oh, okay. Yeah, it most definitely is
And then my fault.
oh no, it's all good. But I think that the problem that we see today is that when we're talking about racism, man, we man, yeah, I'm just go ahead and say it, man, because that's what we here for, right? I think that at times we overuse the word racist. You know what I'm saying? When a bigot is a better, adjective to describe somebody. You know what I'm saying? And with that, we lose the power of what it is that we're trying to prevent, right? Because people, I think that the Trump got some heat because he was saying he was the least racist person, right? And not understanding there's no spectrum on racist. You either are or you aren't.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's no spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he just had a
Whereas
sprinkle of it.
whereas bigotry, oh yeah, yeah, man. It's crazy when he said that. You know what I'm saying? Like when he said that, and I want to get into this topic. I'm trying to figure out who said it.
He's part-time
Who
racist.
who made this comment about being a black person that supported Trump, and I can go in on that. That's another topic. But what I want to say is that I think that as a people, just as Americans, as in general, we need to get back to saying that. And I think Webster changed the definition of racism so that it is about systems, not necessarily individual interactions, right? So if somebody calls me the N word, that's an individual interaction. I don't call that person a racist. I call them a bigot. That's just what they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If the government of Georgia decides that they want to, suspend, if they want to take away voting or drop off boxes in my area where it's mostly black, that's racism. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's
racism.
racism.
Yeah.
And we don't talk in that form. You know what I'm saying? So like this army dude in Colombia, you know what I'm saying? Most people look at that interaction and be like, "Oh man, he was being a racist." No, at that point he was being a bigot because he had an individual interaction and not understanding he's in the second blackest city outside of Charleston. You know what I'm saying? In South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Let me get to some of these. Let me get to some of these comments,
No,
man. Go ahead, John.
no, it was me.
No, that wasn't. It
Oh, go
wasn't
John,
ahead,
me.
Brian.
John, it was you. John, you gotta go.
No, nah, it wasn't me.
Oh, I was about to say, but
No,
if you
no,
watch,
I'm here.
oh, you better go.
No, no, I'm here.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead,
Oh,
Brian.
all right.
Brian, you need a laptop, homie. You need a laptop,
I know
man.
I
you need a
know,
laptop, Brian.
I think I do, man. So, so the what Shantae was saying, like about the white sergeant, but if you listen to if you look at everything, the person that boosted him up is the worst. That was the worst person ever. But we don't give her credit. His wife. White women
Mm.
boost a lot of white men up to do crazy shit. And then that like if you watch Color Purple, you remember when Oprah was the lady asked Oprah, "Hey, you gonna work for me when you get older?" to her daughter, and she said, "Hell no." So then the lady said, "What you say?" She said, "You heard what I said." Then a white woman went to the white man. She said something. Then the white man
Mhm.
took over her honor. Said, "I'm gonna take up for her honor," and came back and said something to the Oprah and whatever. See, that's what like when you watch a lot of things, the white man will come to the white woman thing every time when they do it. Like she was the one with the camera. That's
When we're
like
dealing with
that's the
issues
crazy.
of bigotry, when we're dealing with
Yeah,
issues of
yeah,
Yeah,
bigotry,
yeah,
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 but
yeah,
yeah.
that was
Because we,
saying if she was the one with the camera, that's the crazy thing. It wasn't nobody
yeah,
like somebody else taking a picture.
That's true.
His
That's
own
true.
wife got him in trouble and thought that was like, oh, I'm gonna post this and all my friends, they was just thinking to their friends, all
yeah,
my friends gonna think we right. and then it ended up
Mm,
messing her husband up. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that's what I
yeah,
said. The person in the background, she was the instigator to it all, really. And that's a lot of things
yeah,
that going on.
Oh,
The
yeah.
instigator,
She hyped them up, man.
oh,
yeah.
Dude
oh,
probably
their
wasn't
friend.
Like
even
Oh,
outside.
oh,
He
their
was.
friends was in the comment. Their friends was in the
They
comment
went and
like,
got him.
"Go best friend, go
yeah.
best friend. That's my best
Best
friend."
friend.
When that thing
Yes, Queen.
I know
Yeah,
when
yeah,
that thing
yeah.
went left, when that thing went left, they erased
I
the
do
comment.
not know them. Yeah,
I know, but
I
Oh
do not
they
man.
know
erased the
them.
comment when it went left.
Hey, hey, man. Hey man, that whole situation was crazy. And you know, being a military member, I seen it. You know what I'm saying? Because that happens all the time, man. Probably Sean probably seen it working around the military. It happens. It happens a lot, man, with military. You know, people's wives, you know, hype them up, you know what I'm saying, and get that man. That's the only thing I saw. I'm like, man, this dude's wife about to get this man in trouble.
In
You know what I'm
trouble.
saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it just, and like we saying, man, uh, racism is a mental health issue, man. And let me get to some of these comments before we get in, man, because there
Yeah, yeah.
is some people leaving some good stuff, man, and I don't want to leave it out. Of course, our sis checked in. Hey, Monique, we gonna
Hey,
most
hey,
definitely,
hey.
most definitely want to get our sis in
Hey,
because she
Monique.
won't write a book, but we'll get her in and tell her story because I think that she could help a
Oh
lot of
man,
women with her
yes,
story, man. And I'm so proud of you, Monique. I just want to say I'm so proud of you and I love you.
yes.
Um, Proud of you. Um, uh, Tamika said, they always existed. She was talking back about we were talking about these people and Trump. And here's the other thing with Trump, man, that people don't understand. During the pandemic, right? Trump was sitting out these tweets and these little messages talking about how he was going to protect white women from Section 8, protect white women from, these criminals coming into the neighborhood. And language, man, language is important in America and how language is interpreted. You know what I'm saying? When people hear immigrant, what's the first word? What's the first image that pop in your head? You know what I mean? That's what I try to
Mexican.
tell this person. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. Nobody talks about
Yeah,
European immigrants that stay here and overstay their visa. That's not the first image. You know what I'm saying?
all the
So, but
Canadians
yeah, man.
that didn't go back over after their visa expired, which is they're like number two.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they are. Look, man. I know a lot. Look, over in Germany, there's a lot of Germans. Their cousins are over here overstaying their visas. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But Monique said, we all got to start saying something when we see something. She was talking about how we have to hold our own people and our own communities responsible. You know what I'm saying? And that's most definitely is a deeper conversation. It's not really a deeper conversation because it does have to happen. Like, yeah, it's cool that y'all, the black people came out in force in front of this biggot's house, but you know what I mean? Are you doing the same thing? You know what I mean? When somebody like Brian was saying, you know what I mean, a little 12-year-old girl get killed. Are you, and we know who did it, right? You know what I'm saying? And I always said, man, I wasn't the biggest fan of the no snitching policy, you know what I'm saying? Because I think it caused harm to the black community, but
hey
black and
man,
brown communities. But,
hey man. I, I have to say it depends on what spectrum you in. You know, I was a part
Yeah,
of
that
that
was saying. That was
whole.
mm,
to me. I'm
You know what I'm
for
saying?
and
So
against
I can't.
at the
yeah,
same
yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you ain't in that life, if you ain't
Yeah.
in that
If
life
you,
and you're a civilian to it, look, man, tell what you need to tell.
yeah.
Mm,
If you are a part of that life, now now
hmm
you know what you sat back and signed up for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I meant. I should have separated it. What I meant for the people who wasn't part of that life and they were affected. They see things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Protect
you
the
ain't getting
community.
my
Not
cheap
not not to
clover vote.
those people. Those people. Hey, yeah. No, man. That's what I want to say. People, yeah, man. People who aren't part of that life, but I understand that there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? But but like I'm saying, hold on, let me get to this comment. Yeah, Holly, check us out, man. Check us out. We be going in. I think on here, we got more to go in on. So,
Come
but
on back now, you hear?
but yeah, man. But again, again, we can also talk about, what happened to, when we're talking about racism, we talking about systems. We could talk about what happened to the army, the second lieutenant. We could talk about what happened to that young man in uh the young man that in Minneapolis that got shot by the police. We could talk about the 13-year-old that got shot by the police in
Chicago.
December. Yeah, in
Man, that was crazy.
Chicago. Yeah, that was more crazy, man. Like,
Wow. Yeah.
and all of these things are most definitely, I think, tied to mental health. But most definitely, I mean, it's all tied to systems and things being systematic. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's
Yeah,
all tied to.
Yeah.
that's
Cause
a
I.
whole nother topic.
Bruh, hey, look, it's
Yeah.
coming. That topic is coming,
Yeah.
and it's going to be soon because I don't want to lose the
Well.
moment. I don't want to lose the moment, but that topic is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cause
y'all
the
want to talk about
comments I done seen on that 13-year-old man. Look, if you wasn't a part of the street life, you don't know what just happened to that young boy.
it.
You don't know what
Mm-hmm,
just happened
mm-hmm.
because it was a 21-year-old that was involved.
That
You
was
don't
him.
know what
Come
just happened. I can tell you. I can break it down to you what was going on with that
on.
youngin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and people that was a part of that life, they know what happened. They know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Mm-hmm.
coerced by a
Yeah.
an older person
Older person. Yeah.
because he would take the lesser charge. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Come on, man. I don't know what the game is.
Yeah, but yet and still the police that young man turned around with his hands up, and the police look, I was in that same
Hands
situation
up.
when the police lied on me too. You know what I'm saying? I was in that same situation where I'm sitting in court and I'm like, what? The police said what? I did what? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it wasn't for me being in the military, I would have faced some years. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? Like the police action to shoot. Again, when we talking about mental health, man, we talking about mental health in in this country. The police are quick to shoot because there is a proliferation of guns in this country, and they don't know who has a gun. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the situation that you're in as a police officer is you're rolling up on this 13-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? You're in your car. You don't have to hop out of your car. You're within safety. Where are we having a conversation about police safety and the police making sure they're safe and they not putting themselves in harm's way? You know what I'm saying? To me, that the shooting of anybody by a police officer, being the judge and jury, if you don't know your Fifth Amendment and your Sixth Amendment rights, you better go read about your Fifth and your Sixth Amendment rights because they get violated often. And that is the process, your
Every day.
due process every day. But anyway, I don't want to keep monologuing. The 13-year-old, that was just unacceptable, man. And those police officers need to be fired. But yeah, man, that's just my thoughts on that situation. Um,
I second that emotion.
yeah, yeah.
Third.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. But all right, let's try to reel it back in on the mental health side of this thing, man. When we talk about
Well,
pandemic, when we talk about what's up, bro?
well, look, because I had a comment that I was going to make to reel it back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told I was talking to a coworker right before the pandemic really got bad, right? And you know me, I'm constantly either listening to some kind of news or reading some kind of news. So I started paying attention to comments as the pandemic. I think we wasn't at this point of time. We were only having like 100 deaths in this country at best. So I turned to my coworker when we got into conversations when he was asking like, "What do I think about it?" I said, "When this is all said and done, this is going to be the most racist pandemic that you ever heard." And he laughed at me, right? He laughed at me, and he was just like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Look, when people realize that black people and Latino people, people of color or poor people, not just people of color, but poor people class are the majority, the ones that are dying, and this pandemic is going to become fake, not real, so forth, so forth. That's what's going to happen." we wasn't even 3 months from that statement where you started to see on the news that was started to be rolled out. And he was just like, when we had a conversation after that, yo, how did you come up with that? I said, man, I'm just paying attention. That's it. I am just paying attention to what's going on, what's being said.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There's there's a lot of truth to that, man. That's because once states started restricting people, people started getting into their own bubbles. As they were going, as we are careening towards the election. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the bubbles was getting louder, man. And I would like Brian's take on this. We Brian and Sean. Um, like John was saying, to piggyback off of what John was saying, during what we saw, from this year, we saw people who were using the pandemic to get across their I won't say their political view or their own personal view in order to oppress and discriminate, right? What I mean, the further these issues that we've seen. I just want to know from you guys, what did you guys see from this this pandemic, as far as it ties into mental health and the things that's just going on, or things that's going on in general.
Go ahead, Brian.
Repeat it. Repeat question. Repeat it. I heard it, but I gotta repeat it.
Well,
I was gonna let somebody else go
well,
first.
hey,
I was gonna piggyback on
well,
somebody else.
here's a question. Then here's a question. A question by Holly saying, why are they calculating deaths by race? If race doesn't matter, why can we be counted? Why can we be counted as a people? Um,
Count it.
I would say
Like
Holly. Go ahead, Brian.
no. How she said? She said, "Are we?" It,
Yeah, why basically why are deaths being calculated by race? If race doesn't matter, why does race matter when we're calculating deaths in the COVID?
all right, all right, all right. Well, scientists with fluoride. Fluoride said like black people absorb fluoride 3 times as much as white people, and Spanish two times as much as white people. So they already know something in our body absorb things faster. That's why these pandemics and stuff hit us more, because something about us, we absorb things. Maybe that's from our melanin or something like that. And if you I want to say it, nanotechs. Look up nanotechs. Like viruses is not viruses no more, like old viruses. They are hacking viruses and make them like your computer. How your computer get a virus? That's the new war now. That's why you see Bill Gates in head of the fight now. You're like, oh, where Bill Gates? He ain't even a medical thing. No, because he knows this is a computer virus that they found out how to put into your body, and it can attack you. Look up nanotechs and the vaccine. They got nanotechs in a vaccine that can surpass your immune system, because your immune system will fight it off. So, but it will go past it, bypass it, found out how to bypass it and fight the coronavirus. So what I'm saying is they know who to attack, what they want to attack. Like this is black people. We the only people that don't know we at war. We at war, but we don't look at it as war because we don't know. We don't know what it is. We ain't gonna know what's happening today until like 50 years from now. Then it's gonna be exposed with what they've been doing to us, just like the syphilis and stuff. That's why you be like, oh, why these things always attacking black people? They test like clinics. If you go to clinics, why AIDS and stuff are low in the white community, as they say, because when you go to a doctor, the doctor don't have to tell the government that you got AIDS, so whatever. But if you go to a clinic, they have to give all the percentages that's got this disease. like whatever, whatever. So now that's why things look higher in our community than a lot of communities, because we go into these clinics, and then these clinics got to give this percentages over to people. But the doctor, like white people go to regular doctors, they don't got to give their data up. So you don't know about
Well,
the AIDS in their community or whatever in
well,
their community. You don't know, huh? Go ahead.
no, man, because you giving me, man, Friday, right? I
All right.
kind of bumped across a Facebook um, live stream of the head of the CDC of Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you talking about, he was literally telling people that right now, Africa as a continent, we are receiving. I mean, they are receiving 1% of the vaccines there.
Mm-hmm.
They only make 1% of the vaccine. So they're making 70% and shipping everything out and only getting 1% of the vaccine.
Yeah.
So he was literally talking as the head of the CDC for Africa, and just saying that, you know, we need to start doing stuff for Africa, but basically, but you put it in a world contest where it's melanated people and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
This is the genocide. This
Yeah.
is the world genocide that is happening, and it doesn't change no matter on what continent that you are on. South America, America, Canadian, like it doesn't matter. And this is why
Australia.
Australia, and this is why race
Yeah.
matters, because now you're talking about communities. Now you're talking about certain civilizations. Now you're talking about certain cultures. And this is why it matters on how we are being calculated, because you won't know these numbers if none of that mattered. It'll just be people. Boy, you just touched on it, man. I hope
Yeah.
everybody look that up, because he is trying to address that over in on the continent of Africa.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Look
why a
at
lot of
Yeah.
Haiti.
Let me
go
get
ahead.
Sean in real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all good. So no, man. It's hey,
You
man.
good,
We
man?
we we have organic conversation. This, it would happen in the on the corner. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get in when you can get in. You know what I'm saying? Right now,
Yeah,
I just got to
Man.
moderate. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure everybody, who's listening, tune in. Get everybody, get a difference. Of opinion, man. But yeah. Go ahead, brother Sean.
Nah, I'm good. I was
Oh,
listening.
okay, okay,
Taking it all in.
okay, okay. Yeah. Well,
I just taking it all in.
yeah.
But
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay, Brian had something. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
I forgot what we was going to say. I forgot what I was going to say.
Man, my bad. My
I
bad.
got,
Hey,
I,
see, this is why it's terrible
nah,
being the
it's all
host, man.
right.
Because I gotta interrupt people.
Nah, it's all right.
Y'all like, man,
Man, nah, it's all
to
right.
make me
It's
get what
okay.
I'm saying.
Man, these juices keep flowing. Like it's all right.
Yeah,
It's
man.
gonna
Look,
come
man.
back to me in some way. But
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
go. Man, I was gonna say. I think we need to. Like I said on the last one, it's bigger than what we think it is. People don't. We got our mind set on so low on. Oh, they got our mind on a low level that we don't even see the level, like the frequency these people on, and how far ahead they are than us. That's why we can't grasp how, like, that somebody. If you watch Captain Planet, this will be a show of Captain Planet right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you watch Captain Planet, it'd be like, oh, this guy got a the pig dude let out a thing called
Mhm.
coronavirus, and you know whatever.
Mm.
This would be a show. This like a cartoon that you was in like a couple years ago, and people don't
Yeah.
see it. And like I'm just saying, all I say is I don't got a problem with people taking the vaccine or doing what they do. Look up what you doing and know why you doing it. Don't be like, because they gonna scare tactic you into doing things, because
Mm-hmm.
they know if they kill women and children, they
Mm-hmm.
can get to you. They'll pull on your heartstrings then. And that's what this vaccination did. First, it started killing people that's off this, and now it started.
Not the
Oh my gosh,
vaccination. Not make sure we make a correction. Not
no,
the
not a vaccination.
vaccination.
Not a vaccination.
The
Not a
the
vaccination.
the,
Well,
the
even though that's killing.
coronavirus.
Hold up. Even though that's killing motherfuckers. The
No,
vaccination
that no,
killing people.
no.
Hey,
There's not data yet. There's
Se-
not data yet. We gotta make sure
Hold on.
we gotta make sure we put we gotta make
Johnson
sure
and
we put.
Johnson.
But
Johnson and
it's not.
Johnson.
74 people
But
died.
only out of a
Johnson and
million.
Johnson.
We gotta make sure we're presenting data correctly,
Yeah.
man. Because
All right.
I
All
don't
right,
want to
too.
be one of them. Yeah, man.
Right.
So yeah,
You're
right.
right.
There's
Now,
74
hold up.
out of a
I
certain
misspoke. I misspoke.
millions of people. So we
Yeah,
gotta
I
make
misspoke.
sure, man. We gotta make sure
I
we
misspoke.
put it out there.
I meant the coronavirus, really, but the vaccination killing people too. But but
A
I'm just saying,
small
like,
number of people. We gotta make sure we're
yeah,
correct, man. We gotta make sure we're
Yeah,
correct, man.
because you
Do
my
you?
point
you
is,
can't say it.
yeah,
You
we
can't say it.
correct, but
Yeah, we got.
You can't say it
like
as
it
it's
goes
a
on,
brush.
Yeah, man.
hold up, it goes on. This goes on the same conversation we had the last time.
Mhm.
Some things you ain't gonna have the data on because the people in control of the data are the people that are doing this to you. You
Right,
can't even use
but
the data.
yeah, but then you can't then just sit back and jump to hypotheticals.
No,
Right.
I'm not.
We can't.
My whole thing. I can hypothetical all my weight because that's all I got. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't say my job is the person like your job is. Your job is if you feel this situation, people should take the vaccination. You're supposed to build a case on why you should take the vaccination. My job, I don't agree on the vaccination. My thing is you should look into it. Like my job, that's my job. Like, because that's who I really am. If I tell you to do something, I don't believe in, I'm not even doing my job.
I believe it
I'm not
should
even
be a
doing my job.
conversation.
I
believe it
I'm
should
not
be a
saying I'm
conversation.
misleading.
But I
No,
think
I'm not.
I think it's
But I'm
I think that people are sticking out the statement being misleading because they're just dropping the statement just at people are dying when you cannot do that because the fact of it is the only information that you do have is that it's only been 74 people out of seven what is it 70 million at this point
Million,
in time.
yeah, 74
yeah.
million.
It's like
So right now,
so
yeah. Go ahead, John.
so people are so the, I have to say this. Right wing people do this a lot, right? And this is a trick to mislead people. And how they do it is you drop something in there that is truthful. On its face, it's truthful, which means yes, people are dying, right? But then what they do is they leave it to you to then make assumptions because you have no context. So, and this is where it becomes dangerous for people because yes, you are right that if you don't know information, it it leads you to then sit back and say, you're stuck in your own head, basically. But you don't want to be stuck in your own head. Go find that information. I advise you to go find the information. And what information you find, don't argue against it because that's the only information that you have.
Yeah, and
You
I'll say, go
cannot
ahead.
just go ahead, Tay.
Oh no, I'll say, yeah, man. We just have to make sure that we're putting out the right information. Part of that you were talking about, Brian. Why there was black people, just people from a certain social economic level who were dying at such a high rate is because of the information that was being put out. You know what I mean? And it was being misleading. You know what I'm saying? So yes, look, I agree with I agree with John, and I agree with what you're saying, Brian. But we just have to tell people, hey man, make the best decision for you. You know what I'm saying? But not misconstrue the data, right? It's like
Oh, you stalling out. I was looking. I waved my hand to make sure that
oh no, yeah, I'm sorry. But just to I saw something talking about the statistic, like like John saying, right wingers like to talk about fathers not being in the home. You know what I'm saying? They like to take this data that's true, you know what I mean, but then take this other part of the data that says something else and then misconstrued it, you know what I'm saying? And the part of the data says yes, fathers, single mothers, you know what I mean? There are 71% black children are born to 74% or 71% black single mothers, but then it doesn't talk about that the percentage of people who are living together and they're not married, so therefore they're considered single, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean, it's just, you know what I mean, we have to have some responsibility, to make sure that, hey man, if we're going to put out information, make sure we're putting out information, you know what I mean, that is, that is the correct information, you know what I mean? Especially during this coronavirus, man, because if we don't, we're going to have more of us being disproportionately affected by it, man. Look, and I get it. Where the black community is coming from. There's a historical fact. There's historical evidence of the government misusing black bodies, and they talk about it in them. And that's why I love, man. Them is be dropping some dimes in there, boy. They be dropping some dimes in there. But they talk about it when about the government experimenting on black soldiers with Agent Orange and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
yeah,
crazy.
man, like it's
Oh,
some gems in them, boy.
Joe,
Man, I'm
Joe,
telling you.
Listen out.
Joe Biden is Joe Biden is arguing with well, not
Nah,
arguing,
you
but
missing out.
he's suggesting to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Joe Biden is suggesting to South America to start back Agent Orange,
For what?
Wow.
to kill the weed crops down in South America, even though we already know what that's attached to.
Yeah,
Brown
we know
people
that's a
spraying
yeah, spraying and
and
the
getting
effects of it.
cancer. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. That's you know what I'm saying. Again, it's information that we putting out there that the government, people putting out there. And again, we talk about immigration, and again, people don't what the part of people immigration people don't want to talk about is the American involvement. But again, that's going to be another show, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm writing down a
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
we going to dig into all this, man. But I'm not trying to put anybody's fire out, man. That's not what I want to do, man. But what I also want to do with this platform is to make sure that we present data and put it in a certain way. And Walt just said, I had plenty of government experimental drugs injected in me during my military time. Yeah, brother, I totally understand, man. Me and Shauna was talking
I
about
still think you all
anthrax.
right, Walt. I still think you're fine, Walt. Don't let nobody tell you nothing wrong with you.
Hey VA, if you watching this, he's broken. He's broken. Okay, VA, please,
Yeah,
please don't take that man 100%. All right, he's broken. He's broken.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey. But as always, man. Hey, we rolling into 100 into an hour and 15 minutes. Oh man. Oh, it's time to fire. Somebody better hit the fire escape.
Oh
You know what
man,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, man. Um.
Mika in there burning stuff.
Hey man, as always,
I
man.
told you to stop smoking weed while I do the videos.
Yeah.
FBI, they're not smoking weed. Okay,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not smoking. It's cigars. If you
It's just
watch this,
listen. I'm
FBI,
just playing.
yeah,
It's
FBI. If you
They
watch
in
this,
Delaware.
yeah.
They in Delaware.
Yeah, so
They
they
can
all
smoke
right.
weed in Delaware.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
real, real quick, Tavy, before you
Go
wrap
ahead,
up.
Sean. Go ahead. Mhm.
There's a movie to check out. Came out in the '90s with Robert De Niro called Wag the Dog.
Oh, wag the dog.
Um,
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
yeah, that's a deep movie, and I think it has a lot to do with a lot of stuff going on in the news today because it tells you how the government controls the news. So like
Hmm.
just watch that movie. It's actually hard to find that movie. It ain't on Netflix, ain't on none of them. You gotta actually buy the DVD. Uh, but grab that movie if you can find it. Probably at the library actually.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but grab that movie. Definitely check it out because it's some real like propaganda stuff and it's definitely a lot. Like a lot of the stuff to me, as far as like coronavirus and the numbers and all that stuff, like yeah, I believe it. But on the other side, like, what are you distracting me from? What are you distracting me from that
Mm-hmm.
you're pushing all this like about the vaccine? So what are you distracting me from while you keep talking about all of the vaccine stuff? There's something you're distracting me from with all of this stuff going on. And that's what Wag the Dog teaches you is it tells you processes and all that stuff, but it's deep and it's a I believe it's a lot of reality in that. So definitely check it out.
And look, they
Hey,
distract
yeah,
you
man.
from.
Tamika had a good thing that I want to do. Look, we need to do an episode breakdown of them. I'm telling you, man. There's so many
I still
gems
haven't watched
dropping.
it yet.
Look,
I still
all right,
haven't
man.
watched it
We
yet.
need you to watch it.
The girls, yeah, the girls, they already asked to watch it. I don't think I'm gonna get to it tonight, but
Man, look,
Yeah, it's good.
yeah, I'm gonna
boy,
try to
oh
watch
Real
it this
stuff. You
boy,
week.
might want to watch it without them,
But
honestly.
yeah,
man.
but to show a point, I got to say this. Um, yeah, well, what they're hiding is, throughout the world, there's been IMF shutdowns in countries. Coinbase has just went live, so
Oh, that Coinbase
crypto
is crazy.
just went. Yeah, look, they just went live on the stock market. Look,
I bought a couple stock of them too.
Hmm.
bingo. Look, so cryptocurrency because
Let me get some
China,
go.
Chi- China, they already went away from basically, um, just physical currency, in most of their places. So a lot of this is Gary start playing out, and yes, with our American government, we always got to be careful that it is a sleight of hand with it. I don't know who said this, but I got to look it up. Someone said you show me a crisis and I can show you. Oh my gosh, somebody please fill in the blank.
I know you say.
Um,
Uh,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I know the quote. I'm
yeah,
thinking it's Malcolm X, but I don't want. I don't think it's
yeah.
Malcolm.
So
I'm gonna have
basically,
to.
it
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up.
no crisis is wasted. No crisis is wasted. They're going to utilize that to unilaterally do something that is underhanded and wrong. That's just how the world operates. So, that's it. But I will be watching them this week.
Yeah, you need to watch them, man. You need to watch them.
Binge watch it.
It's look. I know we're getting ready to wrap up because I want to real quick just make sure we touch on we get back to mental health, even though it was good. This is a good conversation, but I want to make sure. But with them, so I would listen to this podcast, man. I'm still reading The Color of Law, and I was listening to a podcast, and in the first I'm only going to spoil just a little bit, but in the first episode, they talk about how black people, migrated from the South to the Midwest and the North. You know what I mean? But this podcast was saying how black people were refugees; they were fleeing the South. You know what I mean? Because you had over 4 million black people who were leaving, or 4 million. You had over 4 million black people who left the South, but you only had like 6 million black people. It's crazy, man.
Right.
It's crazy. Like that, yeah, man. And that podcast was saying that black people they were refugees, fleeing the South, and that's what this book is about. The warmth of other suns.
Mm.
That's what this book is about, and also this one, Philadelphia Negro by W.B. Du Bois. But both which I've read, both which I've just kind of delved into. But yeah, you gotta watch them, and we should do an episode breakdown of them because it is bananas. But gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Final thoughts on mental health. Anything that we talked about today. Final thoughts. We're gonna start with you, Brian.
Well, I like to say a quote like, well, with what Yvette post like this week, that David Banner, you're not crazy. Like your spidey sense is going off, and like situations has happened. Like, you're not crazy. It's the predicament you've been put in. That, like, what you've been born into is like a mental health problem. Like
Mm.
the lies,
I
the
got ooh,
history, and all that
ooh.
stuff. You've been born into, like, everybody. Like, everybody. You ain't just come from, like it ain't some people going through mental health. If you've been born into this lie, even different religions, you don't even know what the right religion is. They lie on religion. They lie on like where you're from or who you're from or where. You've been born into mental illness. So finding, looking deep into yourself and researching and just find out who you are, and that's going to be the one that bring you through all this. Like, knowing who you are, because when you know who you are, they can't tell you who you are, and you
Mm,
don't feel like you can feel that with filments and stuff, or different like social medias, or care about people liking you. When you know who you are, you know who you are. You don't care if people like you or don't like you, because you know who you are. And what I'm saying, that's what I'm going to end with.
All right, man. Appreciate that, bro. Brother John.
man, fire! Yeah, that was fire. That was fire. Cause what you saying, man. That post, it is the problem in society.
Hmm.
That when we really look at it, we are told. And keep in mind when I say told, because I'm putting quotations around it, that something is wrong with us, or our mental health. No, we just look, something ain't right. Our society ain't right, and it's making me unbalanced. And we all got a touch or levels of this thing. But look, we were born into, so I ain't gonna say it. So it's learning to live in a learning to be sane in an insane world.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can put it. Learning to be sane in an insane world. Because everything that we talk about, man, if you think about it, you're like, God darn, like, people really believe that? Dang, people really did that? Like, dang. And it's no humanity. It's no humanity, man. We need to get back to some basic humanity. It's all right to have anxiety. Yeah, you gotta learn how to balance it out. It's all right to be frustrated, angry sometimes, but you gotta learn how to balance it out. You gotta learn how to control it. And these are the learning lessons that we hoping that through our conversations that we get to learn, to touch on. And I just want to close with, man, this is why this podcast will soon become very important, because we're going to talk through all of our emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said, bro. Brother Sean.
Hey, Brian and John wrapped it all up for me. So
I mean, wrap it up for you, bro.
I don't know. That was deep. That was like right on target.
Yeah.
Uh, nah, cause I watched the David Banner thing. That was actually really good. Um, and I agree with a lot of that. For me, I would just say, like, kind of like what Brian said, just be yourself. Whether people like you or not, if you are who you are, people that are going to like you, they're going to like you. People that are not, they not, regardless of who you are. You gotta love yourself. No matter where you at, what you're going through, you just gotta love yourself. Um, so that's what I'm gonna end it with. Love y'all.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna start my last comment by saying you're talking about I want to bring it back to mental health and this are what I want people to understand is that to get out here, get back to some normalcy because
Listen, the streets are calling my name.
I'm going to the streets. This summer, I'm going to the streets. The streets are calling my name. I'm going to the streets. The streets are calling my name. I'm going to the streets. Y'all gonna be out there in the
Start
streets.
walking, boy.
Yeah, y'all go. Hey, look, y'all gonna be out there in the street, man. Get back out there in the streets, man. Get back out there, man. Get back to some life, man. There is look, this world is complicated, man. Our lives are complicated, man. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't enjoy your life because you only get one life. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't go out here and experience the things that are going on. For me and me and Shauna try to get out, and like I said, Shauna planned a great getaway this weekend. It was awesome seeing friends, getting to hang out. So hopefully everybody get hang out and stuff of that nature. And I'll say, man, keep following us, man, because we are most definitely going to have some of these tougher conversations that we had about race and racism, and like everybody was saying, man, racism is a mental health issue. And I'll touch on why race is not real. You know what I mean? We talked about it before, but we'll most definitely talk about it, so be on the lookout in the Facebook group and on YouTube to see when we're gonna have these discussions, man. But all the bros talked. You know what I mean? It was a great conversation. I appreciate you brothers for finding time, to talk. Come, put our feelings out there. And like John was saying, man, there gotta be more platforms where men are just talking and putting our feelings out. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of misinformation just on men. So I'm gonna end with that. This is another episode of Yah'm Say'n. You guys have a great week and have a great weekend. We will see ya on when we
And
speak.
hand lotion motion.
Hand lotion.
Oh man, we ain't even get to that.
To the
Oh
what?
man,
That's next week.
Hey, we'll get
yeah, man.
Hand
For
lotion
all the
motion.
people that had to, got to order up
You
on
missed
their
the K
lotion,
on the
man.
beginning.
Oh, okay, yeah. I must have missed it.
Hand lotion motion.
I must have missed it. All right,
Yeah,
this is Yah'm Say'n. We out.
get their 3 month supply. All right.